Guys, this is my third time filming this video, but this is gonna be the last one. I'm about to get it right here. But guys, this is basically gonna be a breakdown of what being in shape genuinely did to my life, right? This video is gonna have no cuts, and I'm basically just gonna be breaking down my story, right? So when I first started working out, I was 16. Guys, I'm about to pop up this video on the screen real quick. This is me when this was probably my first time working out. I'm pretty sure it was my first time. And I remember vividly remember what I was going through during this time, right? So me and my brother, we're at the gym, we go, and then our first time going, right? And then whatever, I'm super skinny, super insecure about myself. I walked into that gym feeling like a little boy. Like I walked in there knowing that I was all the way at the bottom. I'm like, bro, all these people are stronger than me. I'm weak. I don't even know what workout we did. I don't even remember, but we just did probably a shitty workout. You know, your first couple of workouts when you don't know anything, they're always shitty. But guys, like I remember there was a lady mopping. That's why I'm laughing in the video. I'm mopping. No, the lady's mopping, and then my brother is like looking at me. He's looking at me from the side with like straight disgust in his face. And obviously it's a joke, but you know, I was insecure about myself, so whatever, I started laughing too. And you know, like I was low-key embarrassed. Like I was embarrassed because I'm like, bro, what am I flexing? Like there's nothing to flex. I don't even know why I made that video, but I'm glad I made it because I can look back on it now. But yeah, I just remember how insecure I was. I had no confidence at all, and I had very severe like social anxiety. I didn't really know how to talk to people. I was very uncomfortable in social settings, and yeah, that's what I remember about that moment right there. Like I would never really talk to new people. All I would really do is just play Fortnite. That's all I would do. All I would do is focus on becoming a better Fortnite player. I was very competitive I'm basically very competitive with everything I do, but in that moment it was Fortnite, right? And then that was the first time. And then shout out to my boy Sandro, and then he introduced me, you know, to another gym, and then I started going to that other gym and I started being consistent there. But yeah, and then I started being consistent every single day. And you know, like I said, guys, the reason why I started working out is because I was extremely skinny. I'll pop up a few pictures on the screen, but it's like I didn't like the way I looked. I would constantly wear hoodies, I would wear t-shirts. Like I don't know, I didn't like the way I would look in any t-shirt at all, and I was just very constantly, you know, insecure about myself. But that's why I knew I had to make a change. I had to start working out. But one thing, guys, that's very interesting is that, and I want to make this very clear, is that working out is not going to solve all the problems in your life. There's still people who have an amazing physique and they still have no confidence. It's like a lot of people think, oh, once I get into shape, once I achieve this, then I'm not going to have these problems. Then my life's going to be perfect. Then I'm going to have confidence to do whatever I want. When in reality, that's not the case. That's a big misconception. Because here's the thing, I'll talk a little bit more about my story. It took me a year to get my dream physique. I'll pop up this picture of me in Spain. That was me with my actual, you know, I got to a point where I was proud of my physique. It probably took me like 8 months to get there, but that picture was, you know, after a year of me working out consistently, you know, eating the right amounts. And but here's the thing, in this picture I still had no confidence. I still had zero confidence when I took this picture. So what does that tell you? Working out and doing all of these things isn't the whole picture. It's a lot bigger than that. You know, me today, I can confidently say I have 100% confidence in myself. But the reason why I have 100% confidence in myself today is because of the things that I've put myself through. You guys need to realize, if you don't self-impose challenges into your life, life naturally is going to impose them for you. If I don't tell myself to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, somebody else is going to tell me to do that. And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a 9-to-5 job. If that's your calling, if your calling is to have a 9-to-5 job, that's completely fine. But the thing is about me is I knew that in the bigger picture, I was called for more. I knew that in the bigger picture, God had a certain plan for my life. And I always knew I was destined for greatness. I always knew I was destined for the best things possible. And that's not me saying it in an egotistical way. And that's not me saying it in a way of like, oh, I'm not grateful for what I have, because I'm extremely grateful for what I have. But I knew that my calling was to be an example for others and to be an example for myself at the end of the day. Because the thing is, now, right, I'm getting people into the best shape of their lives and I'm coaching them on how to become better. But if I can't coach myself and I can't coach myself to become better and to reject that voice in my head that's telling me to get extra sleep, that's telling me to take that nap, if I can't coach myself, how am I going to be able to coach others? And that's when I genuinely started having confidence. I started having confidence once I rejected myself and I started making the right choices even though I didn't feel like doing it. You know what I mean? Because that's a part of life. And I knew that the version of me that has accomplished everything that I want to accomplish does things he doesn't feel like doing because he knows he has to. He knows he has to do those things. And here's the thing, when I would work out, I enjoyed working out. Working out was never a hassle for me because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed seeing the progress and I enjoyed building those habits. But I need to ask myself, why did I enjoy it? And the reason why I enjoyed it was because I was building up those small wins every single day. And I knew that although this is just one workout, and although I can just skip this one workout, but how would I feel about myself? And I knew that that win that I would get after that workout, and I knew how much enjoyment and fulfillment I would get from that, I knew that I had to do it, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, how are you going to sustain it, and how are you going to keep doing it on a long enough time frame? You know, if you want to build these lifelong habits, to a certain extent, you need to learn to enjoy them. But here's the thing, when I first started working out, I didn't enjoy it. I was uncomfortable. Everyone was stronger than me. But I allowed myself to stick through that period of uncomfortability to make it to the other side of life where I genuinely can enjoy it. Because look, when I first started working out, okay, a year into me working out, I still lacked confidence. But here's the thing, it wasn't because I didn't have the right physique. It was because I still was a victim to lust. It was because I still let lust control a big majority of my life. And that's why I didn't have confidence. Because I would work out, I would do all these things, but the thing is, you can do everything right, but if you fall short in one aspect, it can just ruin. Not necessarily ruin all the progress you've made, but it can limit you from becoming the best version of yourself. So yes, I was working out, yes, I was doing this, but I was falling victim to lust. And that wasn't allowing me to become the best version of myself, and that was my bottleneck. Because everyone has a bottleneck. And for all of you guys that are watching this right now, you need to literally write down, what are my bottlenecks? What's limiting me from becoming the best version of myself that I can be? You know, for me it was lust, and I had to remove that, and I had to completely get rid of it in order for me to have that confidence I need. Because personally, that right there for me would just destroy all my confidence. And I feel like that's something a lot of guys struggle with, but they don't like openly talking about it. And in all these videos I make, I know that if I'm able to talk about it, hopefully I can help somebody else, and you know, they can see what I'm going through, and then they can move forward in a better way in their future. So yeah, and then now today, another big reason why I've gained a massive amount of confidence is because I'm constantly denying myself every single day. But what do I mean by that? I'm denying my feelings, I'm denying my emotions, and I'm doing what needs to be done every single day. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm doing cold showers. I'm doing 100 push-ups every single morning. And me just stacking up these wins every single day, if I can do this for 100 days straight, 200 days straight, 300 days straight, that's when all these other areas of my life are going to improve. Because when I was 15 years old, right, I started my first entrepreneurial, aspect, right? I started trading stocks. And I would trade stocks. I didn't have somebody to guide me. I would kind of just listen to a bunch of different opinions. And I would, I invested in a few, communities or whatever, but nothing really helped me. But here's the thing, here's where I went wrong with trading stocks, is that I wanted the out, my fault. I wanted the output, I wanted the money, I wanted the cars, I wanted the Rolex, I wanted all these nice things, but I didn't want to develop as a person. I didn't want to become better at these certain skills as a person that were going to make me become a better person, so I actually deserve the outcome. And when you don't deserve something, God often, more times than not, takes it away from you. So I didn't deserve that money. And I would trade stocks, basically gambling. I would trade options. I don't know if you guys know what that is. You could do more research on it. It's basically a much more riskier version of trading stocks, but the reward is way greater. So yeah, I would trade options. I would gain money. I gained over probably in total maybe over $2,000. But the thing is, I would lose it instantly because I didn't deserve it. It was basically gambling. I wasn't learning anything from my losses. I was basically just gambling money, and then I would get the money, but since I didn't deserve it, I couldn't sustain it. And the best part about the gym is that you can't fake having a 10 out of 10 physique. It's either you have it or you don't. And you can't just skip your way to having the dream physique. You need to go through all those challenges that are gonna, form you into that person that has the physique you guys want. So, because it's like a lot of guys have money, a lot of guys have these certain things, but they're lacking with their physique. And it's like, okay, your life is still probably gonna be good if you have money, if you have the right woman, if you have all these things. But the thing is, if you don't have the right physique, you're bottlenecking your progress, you're bottlenecking your capacity. Because if you can already accomplish so much more without being in shape, without being in the best physical shape in your life, imagine how much you could accomplish while being in the best physical shape of your life as well. And that's basically one of the most important lessons that I learned from being in shape. Because it's like, it just adds to your life in all areas possible. Because nobody's ever worked out and regretted that workout. You know what I mean? But there has people that have skipped the workout and they regret it after. So if you just make choices that you know you're not going to regret after on a long enough time period, you're going to be able to become the person that you want to be. Because another big lesson that I had to learn is that it's not about what I want. It's about who do I have to become that has what I want. And once you focus on who you have to become, and you focus on what does that version of me do that's in all the places, in all the rooms that I want to be, what does that person do on a day-to-day basis that got him there? And once you start moving and acting like that person now, your physical reality is just gonna become that, right? And what I realized is that, okay, I've been waking up whenever I wanted for a long enough time frame, but I haven't seen the progress I want to see. So in order to see the progress I want to see, I have to make a change. Because if I don't make a change, how do I expect to grow? And the conclusion that I came up with is that, first off, I need to have a consistent wake up time. No matter when I go to sleep, I need to wake up at 5 a.m. on a daily basis. And if you guys don't believe that I'm being consistent with this, go ahead and check out my IG stories where I document every single day of my life. You guys can see I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm doing my 100 push-ups, and then I'm going on my cold shower directly after every single day. So what I realized is that, okay, I need to train my mind to be disciplined, and I need to train my mind to do things that I don't want to do. Because look, there's plenty of successful people that don't take cold showers, don't wake up whenever they want. They don't do all these things, but the thing is, if they were to do all these things, they could double or triple all the progress they've made. Because look, there's 100 different ways to reach one destination, but that one path, there's always the most optimal path where you can reach that destination as quickly as possible. So basically, yeah guys, I basically talked about a lot of different aspects that I've learned in these past 3 months. And me going along my self-improvement journey these past 3 months, I've learned so much about myself as a person, and I've grown so much as a person as well. And the most exciting thing that I want to see is who I am gonna be in a year from now. That's what I look forward to every single day, seeing my growth and seeing who I'm gonna be on a long enough time frame. Because you guys can't think and seeing results in 10 days from now, 20 days from now, 30 days from now. You need to think long term, because there's a difference between dopamine and serotonin. You don't want to be somebody that's chasing dopamine 24/7. Serotonin is long-lasting fulfillment that's actually going to fulfill you in your life. So just stop chasing short-term dopamine, stop taking drugs, stop vaping, stop doing all these things that aren't going to benefit you, and start doing long-term fulfillment that's going to give you serotonin. And more times often than not, the long-term fulfillment tasks are going to be tasks that are not easy, because none of these things are easy. They're hard, but the fact that they're hard is what gives it value, and then you appreciate it. It's the same way how if you're looking for a wife, you want that wife to be hard to obtain. You don't want her to be easy to obtain, because if she was easy, there would be no value in it. And it's the same way with your life. You don't want to live an easy life, because an easy life, I'm not going to say it isn't worth living, but an easy life, you don't live the best possible life. The best possible life comes with experiencing night and day. It comes with experiencing the lowest of the lows so that you can experience the highs of the highs. If you look at the most successful people on the planet, more often times than not, they've actually experienced being very poor. Because when you experience being very poor, it allows you to appreciate all the wealth that you've accumulated. And it's the same way with fitness. You guys can see the most amazing looking bodybuilders. That guy was in the same position as you. He was extremely skinny, or he's extremely fat. But the only difference between him and you is that he took action. And not only did he take action, he adjusted to see what worked. Because if you take action but you're not adjusting along the way to see what works, you're going to be limiting the amount of progress you can make. So the only thing that I want you guys to take home from this video, from all the amazing things that I talked about, is that you need to ask yourself, who do I want to become? And then if there's any bottlenecks that you have in your life, you need to remove it. And then you need to figure out, if this is the person that I want to become, what is going to allow me to reach that destination quicker? And more times often than not, being in the best physical shape of your life is going to accelerate all the progress that you're making. So guys, if any of you guys are interested in getting into the best shape of your lives, just go ahead and DM me on IG, and then I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I can help you guys get there using the superhero protocol that me and my team created from scratch, that transforms average looking people into looking like superheroes in 120 days or less.